Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so yes, last time's class was cut down after 45 minutes. So where we are seeing the 19th verse, which we have seen in the Gita also before. The basic idea was, Aham akarta abhokta. I don't do anything, I don't receive anything. That was the idea that was covered. Any questions, clarifications up to what we have done, or shall we go ahead? All clear? Okay, with that let us see. Very interesting verse next, the 19th to 20th verse. Anoho aniyan mahato mahiyan atma asya jantoho nihitam guhaya tamakrutuhu pashyati vita shokaha dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. Anoho aniyan mahato mahiyan. Smaller than the smallest. Anoho aniyan. Anu is atomic, smaller than that. Mahato mahiyan, bigger than the biggest. So when this verse comes up, I never get tired of telling this story. Okay. There was this talk by someone, I don't want to mention names, going on at Chambur Sharda Matha. There's a Shankaracharya temple there, and they have a basement hall, nice hall. And this sadhu was talking. And the organizers knew me. They said, Swamiji, you must please come, listen to him. He's very good, listen to him. Now that puts me in a very little odd situation. Because knowing his background, I was not too sure how good a teacher he will be. So if I go and sit in the front, and if he makes a blunder, it will look as though I am accepting it. At the same time, it is very inappropriate, very impolite to challenge it there. So one of the days I went and sat right at the back, just so the organizers will be happy that, hey, I have come. And he was doing a similar verse. Anoho aniyan mahato mahiyan. And he makes a very nice statement. Nice, okay. The Upanishads point out the truth in contradictory terms. Smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, taller than the tallest, fatter than the fattest, thinner than the thinnest. I'm telling you, my hands were itching, really. These are the few times I feel like wringing somebody's neck. There's nothing contradictory about this. Anoho aniyan mahato mahiyan is not a contradictory statement. It's a very, very meaningful statement. Okay, very meaningful statement. You take something small. We have seen this before. Book. I want to know the truth of this book. A book, nothing but paper. Now paper is smaller than the book. Therefore, if I am starting with book, paper is smaller. But paper, wood pulp, smaller. Hydrocarbons, smaller. Molecule, smaller. You give me anything with dimension, I will say is the content of that. Content, smaller, content. Content. Any form, content. Particles, content of that also, smaller than that. Subatomic particles, content, smaller than that. Finally, what is the final thing? It exists but without a form. Because if there is a form, I will say it's smaller than that, subtler than that. Content of that. Therefore, the truth has to be what? Something that exists but no form to limit it. Formless. If it is formless, what it becomes? Limitlessness. Mahato Mahiyan. Where is the contradiction? Anoho Aniyan itself is Mahato Mahiyan. That limitlessness is the content of everything. It is unfolding the truth. Very, very straightforward. Anoho Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Only an idiot will say taller than the tallest, fatter than the fattest, etc. No. Only he has to be an idiot to say something like this, really. No idea of what he is talking about. And this popular teachers, teachers forget he has not understood it. Forget being a teacher and Sampradaya and all that. Not a wonder Yama said that. Who other than me can explain this? Other than a Sampradaya who can explain it? Yeah. There is nothing contradictory. That which is the content of the smallest thing is that limitless consciousness existence that you know of. Mahato Mahiyan. Why? Because dimensionless. If dimensionless, formless, limitlessness, immediately, at the same time. Therefore, what you have taken, because our attention is on what we use to function. And all functioning is based on names and forms. Therefore, the truth is what? That which is the content of all names and forms, including the limitless Akasha, the content of that. Therefore, it's limitlessness itself. So, the content of an subatomic particle and this whole Akasha is one and the same. Limitlessness alone is the truth. Anantam Brahma, as those who came to the camp saw it there. Limitlessness. Therefore, Anoho Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Okay. Atma Asya Jantoho Nihitam Guhaya. Now he is referring to Upalabdhi Sthanam. Where do you recognize? Remember, Atma is everywhere, limitlessness. Right here it is there. There, upar, or there. It is there very much. But can you recognize it there? Jantoho Nihitam Guhayam. It is manifest. It's placed. It's the content of every human being, of every living being as the I consciousness. Guhayam Nihitam. Guha in the cave. Therefore, two expressions are used in the Upanishad. One is Buddhi Guha, the core of your Buddhi, the core of your intellect, your reasoning. The core, because Ahankara is there. Ahankara is a concept. Ahankara, your ego, is a concept. So, if it's a concept, what is the content of that concept? The consciousness. Don't say beyond Ahankara. This is a mistake people make. Beyond Ahankara, kidhar Timbuktu mein. The rope is beyond the snake. Yeah, so where will you look for the rope? Beyond. घर में जाके देखेगा रोप किधर रहेगा. What nonsense is this? Where the snake is, the rope is. Simple as that. Rope misunderstood is a snake. You are projecting a snake on a rope. Similarly, I, the ahankara, I is a concept about myself. What is the truth of that concept? I, the consciousness. Nihitam guhayam. Or hridaya guha, they will say. Because when you say I, where do you feel the I? You will put your hand on your heart, not on your head, and say I. Have you seen anyone saying that? I? कोई देखा है? Even if he's a nerd or an intellectual, he won't say I. I. Yandanappa. Yeah, he won't say I. Devo hridaya guhayam. Why? Because when you say that I, any idea of I involves an idea, an emotion, an energy pattern. When you say ahankara, etc., it's a concept of yourself. It's that concept involves an emotion and an energy pattern. That is why you will say I here. Because the energy pattern is feel there. Okay. Therefore, nihitam guhayam, available as the I. Yeah. You don't have to hunt for it outside. Yeah. I want to know the truth. So get out of the house. Go all over the world searching for what? Myself. The truth. The one who is dhoonding, searching, that guy is the reality. That guy is the reality. Therefore, the desire for moksha needs to be converted into a desire for knowledge of the self. From mumukshutvam to jignasa. It's a small step, but it's a huge step for a mumukshu. That conversion that happens from I want freedom, I want moksha, freedom from a sense of limitation, what should I do, this, that, etc. Then you are running around like a headless chicken. Then you will become like Viking, Hagar the Horrible. Tells his wife, I am going to Paris, do you want anything from there? She is drinking her tea. Well, if there is some culture, you might as well pick it up. Out comes the sword. Don't worry, baby. If it is there, I'll get it for you. You can't storm the gates of moksha like that. It's not a castle that I'll storm the castle of moksha and get it. Yeah. Therefore, the desire for moksha becomes a desire for knowing yourself. Because the self happens to be free. In the vision of the Upanishads, the self is already free. You are not creating a freedom in the self by a process of sadhana or tapas. You are recognizing the self is free. That you are never bound. That you are never a samsari. That I am a bound samsari is a delusion. Is a conclusion, self-judgment because of self-ignorance. Therefore, all you have to do is know yourself. Okay. Therefore, he says, na atma asya jantoho nihitam guhayam. All right, how do I get it? Tam akrutuhu pashyati vita shokaha. Akartuhu pashyati. Akartuhu. Okay. Akrituhu. One who is not a doer. Hey, I want to know I am not a doer, Baba, by knowing the truth. Right now I have taken myself as a doer. Yeah. Then what does it mean? It means, why do you do anything anyway? Why do you do anything? A certain sense of fulfillment. I want this, I want that. Therefore, in fact, most people don't even spell it out, it is for fulfillment. That has to be pointed out. I want that thing. If I get that thing, I'll be happy. If I don't, I'll be miserable. Yeah. That thing can be anything. From a job, from a new toy, iPhone 15, just released in India. Whatever. To a sweet young thing next door. It can be anything. That prompts you to action. Therefore, to be relatively free from desires. Been there, done that, Baba. I am no more caught up in that. I am no more caught up in that. I know none of this is going to give me the fulfillment I seek. Yeah. Marriage gives me, a partner in life gives me physical and emotional companionship, intimacy, etc. Okay, that's all. Can't give me moksha. Total fulfillment. All of you are married, most of you are married, you know that. Those who are not married, at least get into a relationship. It's worth knowing that through experience. Yeah.
That's really in Malayalam. Wife is called Samsaram.
Not Malayalam, in Tamil. Malayalam don't say Samsaram. And relative freedom. Some, okay, been there, done that, Baba. A certain objectivity has come into your life. Yeah, I need some things. Therefore, fine, I have a partner. I have to earn a living, I need a job, etc. Therefore, that's fine. I have a good job, a good career. Not just a job, a career. Not just a job, a career I want. Good. Acha hai. Have a career. Yeah. So, Swamiji, but no job satisfaction. Why? How's your boss? Oh, good. His boss? Oh, it's good. All bosses fine, no problem. How are your juniors? Fine. Colleagues? Fine. Good team? Yes. Reasonably good pay? Oh, yes. Get to learn something on the job? Oh, yes. Then what the hell are you looking for from a job? This is ideal job. This is an ideal job. No satisfaction. You're looking for moksha in a job. That's the problem. You can get moksha from the job. You can't get moksha in the job. I mean, he's got an ideal job. What more does he want? What more do you want? I mentioned about 6 things. Even if you get 4 of them, it's a good job. For the youngsters, a boss is a bit of a pain. It's always good to work under a difficult boss at least once in your lifetime. Why? You will understand what type of a boss not to be. Number 1. Number 2, he'll keep you on your toes. So it's good. So, but we are expecting more than what it can give. The whole life is based on this. We are expecting things from life which life cannot give. None of these things can give that. But they can all give you something to make your life nice, manageable. Therefore, I am in a situation like that. Akartuhu. I don't expect more from life than what it can offer. That's all. Fine. Acha. Akart. That is the meaning. Relative akartrutvam. Not total akartrutvam. Relative freedom from desires. My desires are well managed. Ishwararpanam prasada buddhi. Remember that. Don't forget that. Okay. Pashyati. That person will see the truth. He says, Vita shokaha. He is relatively free from sorrow as well. Why? See, if you realize this is all life has to offer, are you really going to be upset about that? My job is not perfect. You won't be upset about that because you don't expect a job to be perfect. It's giving you what you want, good enough. My partner, great person, nice. Yeah, fine. Once in a way we fight. That's good, that keeps it alive. No fight means the relationship is dead. Or you are happily married and bored because you have become so predictable to each other. It's like after you have celebrated your 50th anniversary, kaisa hota hai. Though I have known couples who have kept it alive even beyond their 50th, okay. So, that Vita Shoka, relatively. I mean, you are still not free from your sense of finitude, etc. Okay. Yeah. Like I asked this guy, how's your children doing? Oh, they are fine. Healthy and all? Oh, yeah, no health. Job, etc. Oh, very well, they are doing well, etc. Then why do you seem unhappy? They call me only once a week. They call you once a week. उठना तो होता है ना. They are happy. They are doing, they are busy with their lives. They are taking care of their lives well. Let them be. You are fine here. Yes. Great. What more do you expect? What more do you expect? Supposing they were calling every day to crib about their marriage or their job or about their children or about their life there, how would you feel? It's good like this, no? It's good. Vita Shoka, relatively. You fine, they are there, they are happy. You are here, you are happy. Fine. Vita Shoka bhavati. So I tell parents, at least your kids call you once a week. No? I was a sailor, I was out at sea. Those days there was no satellite communication, etc. Once I leave Bombay, the next port of call will be Liverpool or something. If I am going towards Europe side, UK, London, Liverpool, this thing. That. So for three weeks there will be no letter also. After that one letter will go. You will post it at Liverpool. 3 weeks, lapata, no communication. Then what? At least now you are getting called once a week. Both ho gaya. So be relative that, not cribbing about life. Hey, cribbing all the time, this is not. Why are you cribbing about things? Yeah. As I said, earth is not supposed to be heaven. It's supposed to be battlefield earth. It's a place for you to grow. Therefore, certain things have to go off. Yeah. So, relatively, Vita Shokaha. I'm okay with things. The sense of finitude, that type of, that unspoken grief is still there. But the other things about this, not there. Vita Shokaha. Dhatu prasadan. Dhatu prasadan. All your sense organs, mind, etc. are at peace. Basically your mind. Mind is at peace. A certain prasannata is there. Because of prasada buddhi, ishvara arpanam, etc. There is a certain prasannata about you. A certain natural cheerfulness. Natural, because things are okay, things are fine. There is a sense of a sense of acceptance. You see the order of things, everything is fine. This is how it is meant to be. Even if something unpleasant happens, etc., accept it. Yeah. In good grace. Yeah. Like you should have seen Shravani and her brother accepting their father's demise. Yeah. She is not there in the class today. Mukherjee, those who don't know, I had put it up in the group, but Mukherjee is no more. Okay. He expired, I think, last Saturday. Yeah. He lived a good life and he went off fine. He was a regular student. I met him the previous evening. I had been to his place and seen him. He was fine. Yeah. And I told them also that he doesn't have more time. He's just waiting for his son to come. His son is a rear admiral in the Navy. So it's not easy. He's a flag officer. It can't be easy to take leave. But he came. He came and saw him at 8 o'clock in the evening. Early morning, he went. And you accepted it in good grace. My father lived a full life and he's fine. Okay, he has moved on to his journey. Excellent. Good. Dhatu prasada. You're at peace with what happens. Yeah. Plus, there is no unnecessary cheshta, that fidgety nature. Because your mind is restless. Yeah. Mind is restless. I remember once, long back this was, we were students in Rishikesh. And one winter we are coming back to Bombay to spend for some work here. Okay, so Uday and I was going. So it's cold in the train. 3-tier sleeper, second class, 3-tier sleeper. That's all we could afford. Okay. So we have put the shawl around ourselves. We are sitting down. Thanda air. Sit down. And there were some other characters in there running around this, doing that. Arey chai wala nahi aaya, ye nahi aaya, arey mungfali aa jao. So finally, one of them says, अरे यार हम लोग को शर्म आना चाहिए. देखो ये दोनों महात्मा देव लोग कैसा बैठा है, हिला नहीं वहां से, हिला नहीं, बैठा ही है. He doesn't know we are feeling cold. Anyway, that apart, the idea is a certain dhatu prasadam, that restlessness, mind is restless. Yeah. Can't sit quiet. That's a good way to start your meditation. Some time of the day, just sit quiet. No reading, no watching TV, nothing. Just sit quiet. Mastram Baba banke. Just sit. The thoughts will be there. Let it come and go. Don't let the thought make you get up and do something. No. Don't start getting worried. Arey yaar, ye karne ka hai, wo karne ka hai. Just sit. We can do that. That's called dhatu prasadaha. Dhatu prasadaha. Okay. Mahimanam atmanaha pashyati. Atmana mahimanam pashyati. With the teaching understood, because he has said that before. A lot of verses are spent on the necessity of the teaching. So if your mind is like this, but Swamiji, this doesn't come under any of the qualification. No? What is samadama? What is samadama? Uparati, etc. This is it. What he is talking about is all samadama, uparati only. All the qualifications only. No problem. When you have that, certain viveka, vairagya is there, shatsampati is there, mumukshutvam is there. Mumukshutvam has become jignasa, even better. Or kya hai? You are exposed to teaching, you get it. You will get a great realization. What an idiot I was before. Thinking I have a finite guy, I want freedom, moksha, ananda. When I am already all that. Okay. All right. Therefore, anam atmanaha. Now explaining that. Okay. So-called contradictions. So-called. Okay. Asinaha duram brajati shayano yati sarvataha kastam madamadam devam madhyanyo jnatum arhati. Sitting he goes far. The same champion I was talking about, sitting he goes far. You do, na? You're sitting in a bus and you're going far. He takes himself to be sitting here. Okay, the guy takes himself, I'm sitting here. And in my mind, I'm thinking of UK, London. You think. When you think of UK or a specific place in UK, is the consciousness already there or not there? Your sentient mind has gone there, correct? That sentient mind is based on consciousness or not? Therefore, it looks as though with the mind, the consciousness also has gone. Consciousness is not moved anywhere. It looks like that. Asinaha duram vrajati. Looks like that. Sitting, he goes far. Shayane yatri sarvatra. When he is sleeping, he is everywhere. Why? No thought to limit the manifested consciousness. No thought to limit. Then where is the consciousness? Everywhere, as it was before. It is not that only in sleep or samadhi the consciousness is everywhere. Consciousness is already everywhere. But in your mind you take it as limited. Because I am here, I am not there. That way. Therefore, Shayane, when I sleep, it goes everywhere. It is everywhere. Okay? It is not that you are in a flying business class, sleeping there and going everywhere. These are all idiotic people who don't understand. Shayane yatri sarvatra. Okay? Kastvam madamadam devam madanyaha nyatumarhati. Mada, amadam, both. Madam meaning joyful one. Amadam, not joyful. Why? Joyful and not joyful are descriptions of the mind. This is a problem that comes because you translate Ananda as bliss. If you translate Ananda as bliss, you will remain blissfully ignorant. Joy, bliss, unhappiness, all these are qualities of the mind. So when he says madam, amadam cha. When your mind is joyful, consciousness is the basis for that. When your mind is not joyful, consciousness is the basis for that. Therefore, madamadam devam, that reality, the consciousness, deva meaning the effulgent one, the conscious being, the I, which is free from joy and sorrow. When this consciousness, because of some reason, some thought, some experience, something, is manifest in the mind, you will call it joy, happiness, blissful, etc., etc., etc. When it is not manifest, simply sitting. You are Ananda even then, but you are not recognized it. If you are recognized it, you are Ananda all the time. Ananda is not bliss. Ananda is limitlessness. The meaning for Ananda is Anantam. But the word Ananda is used to indicate what happens in your mind when you know the truth. That doesn't mean when you know the truth, you are always going around like a grinning gorilla. I'm Ananda. Na? There are teachers like that. You ask them any question. I'm asking you a serious question. Why are you behaving like a grinning gorilla? Answer the question. Okay. Anyway, therefore, madamadam devam, okay, madanyaha devam madhyanya jnatum arhati. Kastvam jnatum arhati. Other than people like me, who will know it, he says. Who will recognize it as themselves? Yeah. This person is quite clear. Huh? Yama is quite clear. There aren't a lot of us around, he says, who will know the truth. Forget teaching, even knowing. Why? It takes something. That's why a good student is always treated with respect, by the teacher also. Why? It's not easy to get a good student. It is not easy to get a good teacher, that is true. A good student is equally difficult. Yeah. To get caught up in all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's easy. Like I told you all, no? During my batch, 7,000 applications to join the ashram. 7,000. Not a joke. 700 interview calls sent out. Swamiji was hoping to choose 100 students because 100 rooms were available. Finally, we could get only 70 good students. And out of that 70 hopefuls, only half finished the batch. 35 students passed out. That means what? Getting a good student is difficult. And out of the 35, it doesn't matter whether you become a sadhu or you don't become a sadhu. I will not hold it. Have you become a good teacher? Have you known the truth yourself? Are you a good teacher? Doesn't matter whether you are sadhu, married, single in white, what, it doesn't matter at all. Lifestyle doesn't matter. Have you known enough to teach? Therefore, mad anyaha kastam jnatum arhati, he says. Who deserves to know it? Who can know it other than me? What he says is true. Yeah. Why? Two things, two reasons actually. One, let us put the blame on the teacher first. The teaching is asampradayavit. Then it won't work. If you are talking about it as an event, if you are postponing it into the future, if you are waiting for it something to happen, if you are talking about it as something that is contrary ideas, etc., sorry, it won't work. If you are presenting moksha as an event, as an experience, it won't work. I know some people do that in public. That's okay, that's just to inspire people. That can be taken in that light, just to inspire people. What? If that's how you are teaching consistently, it won't work. He's an asampradaya teacher. He may be even speaking in Sanskrit and teaching in Sanskrit. I met teachers like that who will teach in fluent Sanskrit, but stuck. Asampradaya. There are asampradaya teachers in Sanskrit also, not only in English or Hindi or any other regional language. There are people like this. Asampradaya, it won't work. All right, if the teacher is a sampradaya, because some people seem to be getting it, that means teacher is sampradaya. Then what happens on the other side, the student? One main thing is lack of commitment. Main thing. You allow yourself to be distracted by every little thing in the world. A lack of commitment becomes one of the biggest things. Not fine-tune inside. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampati, Mumukshutvam. Lack of commitment means Mumukshutvam is not high. It's a Shubhecha. Something. I should know something about the Upanishad also, no? Gita, of course, all part of our heritage and culture, we should know that. For people for whom it is not heritage and culture, also study it and get it. One of my batchmates, 40 years she has been teaching in Brazil, consistently. It's not part of her heritage or culture. It's what she chose to do. Gloria is her name. She got the Padma Bhushan last time when the Brazilian Prime Minister was here. Yeah, recognizing the fact that she has been teaching there for so long, consistently, without any other support. Here at least there is some sort of cultural support. There, even that is not there. Yeah. And a student Jonas, many of you have seen on the Vedic Wisdom Festival. She is Swamini's batchmate. We called him to speak there. It's nice to see an American talking Vedanta. Sorry, a Brazilian talking Vedanta. Yeah. So, It's not culture and heritage. It is works across culture and heritage. Yes, this culture and heritage preserved and developed the knowledge, true. But it is meant for everyone. It's all inclusive. We have been born in this culture. What can you teach us about Vedanta? You have been born in this culture. Just because you are born here by osmosis, the Vedanta goes into you. Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah. You have to soak up this culture. Yeah, you will pick up all the orthodoxies is all that you will soak up, I am telling you. What goes around as Indian culture today, half of it is not Indian culture. You soak up orthodoxy. You don't soak up the culture. Why last 200 years we have moved away far from our culture. So it is nothing to do with culture or heritage. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the way you dress or what you eat. How can he be a Vedantin and eat onion and garlic? He's only eating onion and garlic, na? He is not eating. He is not cutting a goat and eating it up. No, be happy. It is not culture or heritage. It has nothing to do with that. He doesn't keep an Ekadashi fast. What type of student is he? I told you, the sadhus and Rishikesh who are living on Bhiksha don't keep Ekadashi fast. Why? Ekadashi is the day they don't get food. Dwadashi is when they get a bhandara. So, what are you talking about? Those are not what makes you understand Vedanta. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, Mokshatvam. So if that is missing, you look at it. Why are you not getting it fine-tuned what is to be necessary? Start with your self-awareness. What is my self-awareness? What is missing? What is missing? What requires some fine-tuning? That in a Friday evening, if you are sitting in a class, means you got it to a certain extent. Why? There are 101 things you can do on a Friday evening. No? Yeah. You think in a metropolis in India, you can't do anything on a Friday evening? 101 things you can do. But you are listening to Vedanta. I mean, there is something. Fine-tune it, okay? Fine-tune. Okay. Madanyaha jatumarhasi. Then, continuing the idea, he says, Shariragum asharireshu, ashariram sharireshu, anavasteshu avastitam, mahantam vibhumatmanam, matva dhiraha nasochati. Ashariram, it is bodiless, meaning formless. But it is, where is it manifest? Sharireshu, in the body. What am I? Limitless consciousness. Ashariram. Where am I manifest? In this body. Anavasteshu avastitam. What am I? That which is free from time and space. Where am I manifest? In names and forms which are conditioned by time and space. Anavasteshu. That which does not last tomorrow, in the impermanent. I am manifest in that which is impermanent. In fact, I itself is manifest. The manifestation, by the very name manifestation, has to be impermanent. Therefore, whatever is impermanent, in that, where will you look for the permanent? In the impermanent. Where will you look for the limitlessness? In this I. Where am I? In this mind, impermanent mind, changing all the time. In there, I will recognize the consciousness. We will see that in Very great detail in Kathopanishad. That which is not an object. Okay, I am back. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yes, Swamiji. Yes.
Good. Therefore, that which is cannot be thought about, but that because of which the mind thinks. Aye, the consciousness. Anavasteshu avastitam. In that which is impermanent, etc., that limitlessness, free from time and space, is available as I. That's the nature of the truth. We are all dealing with manifestations, names and forms. This interaction that we are having in class is also names and forms, isn't it? But we recognize anavasteshu avastitam. Therefore, by finite words, we can understand that which is not conditioned by words. That which is not limited by the words, we understand through the words itself. Not through something else. Not through something else. Yeah. By looking at the content of what is there, we recognize that. Anavasteshu avastitam. It's a very beautiful way of presenting it. It cannot be a better sampradaya way of presenting this. And he says, therefore, wherever you are dealing with anything, name and form outside, the reality is nothing but pure existence. Thought, etc., reality is nothing but I consciousness. So don't try to look at it categorically. This is mind, this is consciousness. This is name and form, this is existence. Nahi milega. If the moment you look at it categorically like that, you are not going to get it. Why? In your mind you are creating dualities. You come to Vedanta because of duality. Because there is a problem with duality. And you study Vedanta and create even more duality. Shankara says somewhere, see, I come to Vedanta, to the Guru, with a Atma. I know I am. I know I am. But I have taken myself to be Dukhi, etc. Therefore, I come to a wise person to learn what is beyond Dukkha, etc. And what does he say? That there is an Atma beyond everything, that is free from grief and sorrow. I came with an Atma that is there with I. Dukhi hai, lekin hai mein. And now he is saying it is beyond everything. Kidhar jau? Shankara adds that, he says it's like giving some money on, you wanted to get some interest. So you invested your money somewhere. Forget getting interest, you lost the capital also. ऐसे हो गया ना. I came with an Atma, etc. But थोड़ा problem है. And he says, beyond Timbuktu में. क्या बात है ये? No. Where the finite things are, there you have to recognize the truth. Ahankara, the content of the ahankara is the reality, not beyond the ahankara. See, beyond, if you are heard these things, you have to understand it. What is transcending? Touch food. You will say touch food. But you are touching a tablet where something is written on it. You are touching a tablet. Then what do you mean touch food? Or you will say touch food. You are touching a head here. Lakshana. Why? You are transcending the form and going to the content. Isn't it touch wood? Isn't that what you are going? Are you going somewhere else? Or you are touching that? You are touching that wood. Touch wood. It's a tablet. But you are transcending the tablet in your understanding because the content is nothing but wood. Same way here. I am Sachidananda. Meaning what? I, ahankara. The content of the ahankara, I. Ahankara is nothing but a self-judgment, a projection, a concept. The content of that is what? Limitlessness, I. So that understanding has to come in. If you put it beyond somewhere, lifelong trip. I've seen people, lifelong trips. Yeah. Trying to transcend themselves. The amount. I admire their commitment and their seriousness. Oh my God. How much commitment and seriousness they have. Every morning they'll get up and meditate and do that. I admire their commitment and seriousness. But not the method. Not the method. Some previous Janma Papa is there because of which they have got stuck there. Then he says, Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam. That Atmanam, I. Mahantam, Mahan, limitless. Vibhum, Jnana Swarupam, consciousness. Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam, Matva, knowing. Okay. Dhiraha na shochati. Dhiraha, the thinking person, Dhiman. Dhira is a thinking person. It never says stop your thinking. Your thinking is your problem. There are some people who talk like that. If thinking is your problem, if a thought is a problem, you have a nightmare in your mind. That means the glory of a human being is negated. The highest equipment you are given as a human being is this. That you want to negate and go back to what? You want to hibernate like a bear or what? In fact, there is one writer, Ashok Banker. He has written the Ramayana. I like the spirit of that Ramayana. He has captured the spirit quite nicely in places, not all. He says that Brahmaji taught meditation to the bears first, and human beings learned it from the bears. Because Jambavan, etc. is mentioned. Hibernation. Hibernation is not meditation. Either it is Saguna Brahma Manasa Vyapara, mental worship, etc., which is meant for purification of the mind, etc., or it is Nididhyasanam, owning up the truth, etc. Or it is simply learning to command a quiet mind because mind is too restless, thinking more than what it should. That is not thinking, it's worrying, anxiety, etc. Quieten that down. That is important. That there is nothing better than prasada buddhi, acceptance. It quietens down immediately. So simple as that. Vibhum Atmanam Matva, the Dhira, Jnatva, Matva meaning Jnatva, Dhiraha na sochati. The Dhiman, the Buddhiman, Na shochati, you're free from that existential sorrow as well. Previously, you're relatively free from the day-to-day issues. Here, from that fundamental sorrow, the unwept sorrow in every human heart, the sorrow that comes from the fact of your finitude. Because I'm a finite human being, I suffer from separation, isolation, loneliness, lack of fulfillment, grief, the existential issues that I have in life, purposelessness, etc. Free from that. Free from that. Where kya? Where? Na sochati. Then what should I do? What should I do? Do whatever you want. But Swamiji, I don't want anything. Mauni Baba ban jao. Teach. It's good to teach. Why? If you know the truth, it's good to teach. Otherwise, those who don't know will teach. As it is, those who don't know are teaching. So at least let someone who know teach. Achha ye. But Swamiji, I can reach out only to 20 people. Doesn't matter. Those 20 people will get it, no? Hopefully. May not also, but hopefully they will get it. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think I can teach for. I'm not. I can't teach. Okay, Mauni Baba, sit down. Murkavat acharet. Live in the life, live in the world like the other fools that are living around. Meaning, yeah, it's an advice given. Murkavat acharet. Live like the other fools. Because you don't want to stand out. Okay, blend in. Problem kya hai? What's your problem? The idea is your freedom is so much. You can do anything that you want and you'll be okay with it. Yeah. After the knowing the truth, can I get married? If you want to. But why should I want? You said I'm free from want. Correct. It'll become a preference. What lifestyle you want? By yourself? Or you want someone in your life? What's your preference? Take that. No problems. It's just a preference. Yeah. Can I go back to my work? If you want to, preference. Can I start a business? Want to? Preference. The whole world becomes only preference. There is no likes and dislikes anymore. It will be like, what do you prefer, tea or coffee? Aisa ho jata hai. Whole life becomes like that. Everything in the world is just a preference. Yeah. Are you getting the idea? The freedom is so much. I must live like this only after. If you're making 101 rules for yourself after knowing the truth, that means you are shaky, your knowledge of the truth is shaky. Because you have to hold on to that rules for you to grow. If you need growth and you're holding on to the rules, great. But that shows you require growth. You are not yet free. Your mind still has